All right, you guys. So everything I'm about to share with you is for educational purposes only. I got a lot to cover, so tell you what, we're gonna start rolling with this. But I will say before I begin, man, I told you guys those who's in my Asian futures trading group. We were meeting at nighttime. I told you, hey guys, here's a different plan. And number two, because we're going to switch up on the plan where I'm just going to have my private Telegram channel where I can send you guys alerts that allow me to be able to send you day trade alerts, meaning that you can get in on the trades and hold them for a little while. So if you're a person who likes to scalp, then yes, you want to go to the New York session because you'll be trading with Miss Jenny, and that'll be on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, where you'll be trading live with her, asking her questions and all that kind of good stuff if you want to learn to be a scalp trader. But if you want to just receive the trades that I'm taking and be able to take them on the swing level, meaning that you can hold them for hours upon time sometimes, and you don't have the time to sit in the class, especially in the evenings for the Asian session, then you'll be getting my direct trades. And we have been just, boy, we've been getting on that market like it ain't nobody's business. I want to say something else, but YouTube will bang you if you say the wrong words. So the bottom line is that yeah, we've been doing very very well, very well, exceeded everyone's expectations. The trades are on fire. So guess what? We doing the darn thing now. Also, if you'd like to receive our get copied on our trades from the copy trader. Then, last week we were, as I said in the thumbnail, 11-4, and for 907 pips. The old trader was for 2015 pips. Miss Jenny's live trade session was for in the futures market was for 323 points, I think it is, in a single week. That's crazy. And then you have my Asian session where we are doing our live signals, our trade alerts. And again, disclaimer, I sent out what trades I'm taking. I'm very specific on what trades I'm taking. I'm telling you where I'm taking my stop loss, take profit. I tell you when I'm moving my stop into break even or whatever I'm doing. And I also will hint to you what I'm doing with my trade as far as whether I'm going to take early profits, close it out, or whatever. I communicate through the entire process so you know exactly what I'm doing with my trade. Again, you're trading your own account. I don't have access to it, don't want any information from it. But at least if you decide to take trades that I'm taking, then you'll know exactly what's on my mind. Okay. All right, let's move forward. We got a lot to cover with news and then we'll get to the charts. Okay. So on this coming week, we do have a big problem coming up. Let me go ahead and take a little snapshot of this for you guys and bring it on the screen, and then we'll get right on into the charts. Okay. Alrighty then, here we go. So we have on Tuesday a couple of things coming up on Tuesday, and that is the AUD is coming up on Tuesday with interest rates. The euro is coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday with inflation numbers because it's covering the entire eurozone, which they have different sections of it, and several of them are coming out with high volume news on Tuesday and Wednesday. So just be mindful of that. The big ones that I'm going to be worried about is right here, which is on Wednesday. You got the manufacturing numbers coming out or the PMI numbers coming out for the US. That's going to be a shaker and a rumbler, especially if you're trading in the futures market. So you want to wait till that news event is passed. And then you also have non-farm payroll, NFP, on Friday. Friday is not a good day to take a trade. I'm telling you, because unless you're a professional trader who understands how the markets move during NFP, it is not advisable, in my opinion, for you to be taking trades during NFP. I would suggest that you hold off. Okay. Alrighty then. So I got to all of that. Let me see if I can do something here. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I need. Give me 1 second, you guys. Nope, that's not what I need. Okay. Anyway, moving forward. All right. So as far as charts, let's get into it. So the dollar have recovered from its drop, and so a lot of these pairs that's against it had dropped drastically, but now they're sitting on strong support levels on the 4-hour time frame, which is what I start focusing on first before I jump down to the 15, looking for an arrow, which you see it worked out perfectly fine. I always start on the 4-hour to get an explanation. You can see here's my trend line with the sexy analyst. It's a trend line, and there you go. And here was the Fibonacci level right here. And so therefore it found support. My daily dot, it had several different confirmations. So there, I took a little short one to the upside on that. Okay, AUD, NZD. NZD has been struggling. So because of the interest rates news that it has, that's why you don't want to trade interest rate news on pairs. You don't know how it's going to come out. So when it comes to the ACAD has dropped, pulled back, and dropped again. So therefore, still can go down from the daily and the weekly time frame, but it could possibly do a pullback first. So I would just say, hey, if you're in profit on it, go ahead and take your money. But again, right here, it has gone to the next level down, so it can first pull back and then drop further. But I'm not looking to trade that one. All right, AJ, same thing. I think I'm still in that whole one on my other account where I got it, way up here, and so I'm just holding the thing. But if you are looking to hop in now, I will wait for a nice strong pullback to this level if it does that, and then hop in. But getting in right now is a little too late. A little too late. Nothing there. All right, that one I don't like. The Swiss has news coming up this week again. What I was like, yeah, they have inflation numbers coming up this week, so I don't care about that. The NZD again has interest rates issues. That's why it's been dropping like a rock, and it's finding a hard time finding its footing. But again, you can dabble it with this. This right here is bumping up against a strong resistance level and has tested it several times. It can push through there though. That doesn't mean anything. So I really don't like it, to be honest with you. I see it, but I don't like it. One of the hardest trades to do is trying to catch the tops and bottoms. All right, this one I don't see anything. This one I don't see much of anything. Let's see. This one here can pull back first, but I don't like it. That one, I don't see anything I like yet. Now, if this thing shows some pressure and you get an arrow to the downside on the 15, then yeah, that'd be a possibility. But in the meantime, right now, it's been on a long, long journey to the upside. So I'm really not a fan of it yet. Again, guys, you don't want to force taking trades if you don't find good setups. Now, this one here, I do like this one, and I'll tell you why. Let me draw this, and you guys will see it right off the top. And this is GBP NZD. Again, the NZD pairs have been very weak, but this one has retested this level up here. So if there is going to be some weakness, therefore I would look for this one to sell off. And you see the arrow have come back in already on this pair. But jumping in at the beginning of the market is not a good idea, because typically what's going to happen throughout the evening of Sunday is this thing is going to recover and pull back up and try to retest and go for the upside. Okay. So I would wait for it to push as far as it can on Sunday going into Monday, and then I would look for a trade maybe early Monday, something like that. But I wouldn't be in a rush to just hop into the trade just because you see something. Okay, this one here, you can see we're up 48 pips on this trade. And this was on, this is for the signals group, for the trade copycat group. So this one, I believe, is still going to have the ability to push even higher, but we are 48 pips up. And I did not count this in that 900 and something total that we had for the week. This is an additional trade that's going to carry over to next week. Yeah, we made a 907 pips for our copycat members in the Forex trading copier. And that doesn't include almost a perfect record for the indices and a nice high record for the oil and silver. So therefore, gold is the only one that's been struggling, but the other markets, such as this, we just doing extremely well. And you can see this is an account that we trade off of, and then it goes all to all our members. So all our members are up 48 pips right now on GBP AUD. Okay. And look at how well we got it way at the bottom. See, just knowing how to trade is just a wonderful thing. On GU, I think it shot up really, really nicely. I did close our profits on that and then just quickly called it a day, because you can see it's hitting resistance. So the chances is that it's going to pull back down. I don't see anything there on that pair. I don't see, well, this is different. Now, here's the deal. If NZD can get its footing, because it was just dropping like a rock due to the interest rate news that it had, that. That's why you see this massive, massive, massive drop. And I always wish I was one of those fundamental Forex traders who can find out fundamental news or news on a currency pair, high impact news, and try to get the insider scoop on where it's going to go, because then I could ride this thing all the way down if I know that information. But we're just retail traders. We don't have access to it. But if you did look at this long run, and you would have known what the news event was to that's going to impact it. Now, I do know what news events are coming up, but what direction is going to go and all that stuff, I don't really know. That's the thing I miss. Look at all this massive drop. Now, it is finding its footing on the 4-hour time frame, NZD USD, NZD CAD, and probably NZD JPY as well. Well, NZD JPY, I still don't like it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be touching this one just yet. Look at that. I don't like that downward pressure. Okay. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. I don't like it, me personally. So if I don't like something, I'm just not going to fool with you. Okay. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. So I will be leaving that one alone. All right, let's move on to the next pair, USD CAD. CAD. Now this thing shot up like Johnny Rocket, and now it's softening up on that 4-hour time frame. So I'll probably be looking, and there we go. See that arrow. But now it's dropped a little bit. I expect it to probably pull back up and do a retest of the upper level before hopping in. So look at this. This is great right here. I would hope for any small move to retest up here just to get me in at a better price, at a discount. And therefore, when I get into the trade, my stop loss can be smaller. But yeah, this is a good pair, USD CAD. I am looking for a sale. I will not hold it through NFP, but I do like to sell on that one. USD CAD is the best setup so far for me that I see, and NZD USD or NZD CAD possibly. All right. So, but however, here's the one thing I don't like doing, just to be honest and straightforward with you guys. If I'm in let's say I'm in a USD CAD trade, okay, in USD CAD, then I will not get into a opposite trade on the same pair, meaning that, okay, I'm in a buy trade on NZD CAD, but then I'm in a sell trade on USD CAD. I will not do that. I would always pick one or the other. Okay, so if that's the case, why? And you may say why? Because if some news come out on the CAD, it's going to shoot in one direction or another, and both of them can't be right at the same time. So that's the reason why I don't do that. So what I will do, if I'm selling USD CAD, but I'm buying NZD USD, that's a different story, because NZD USD I'm expecting to go up, while USD CAD I'm expecting to go down. So in other words, they are heading in the opposite direction as anticipated, and there's no conflict. Does that make sense? But CAD up against CAD, and I'm buying one CAD to go up and another CAD to go down. Okay, that's a difference. That's the same pair. Okay, it's only gonna go up or down. It ain't gonna do both at the exact same time. Okay, all right. Hope that made sense. USD JPY. Same thing that shot up like Johnny Rocket. It's softening up, so there could be some reversal action going on, but I'm really not thrilled about it, so I'm not really looking at that one. Okay, let's take a glance at gold. Now, gold finally, after all this time, it has been on a nonstop tear, and then it looks like it's slowing down. We got this little slope, and it's a double top, but then it's softening up and it began to drop off. And let me kind of add this to the top. That's what I'm seeing right there. So if we move all the way across to lower time frames, you can see my white line where it's creating lower highs. Well, before I would hop in, I'm not going to jump in again right here. I will wait for a pullback somewhere up in this range. And if I see that pullback, then yeah, I may take a little nibble trade and say, okay, let's see what you can do. Now, for those who's in the copycat gold trader, we did take a nice trade on this one to the upside when it pulled up and made some pretty good profits, but now it looks like it's ready to head back down. So I don't know. And the reason why I don't like gold right now is because look at how many times it was supposed to stop at levels and reverse, and it did a little small moves and shot up. Well, why is this happening? Because people are flocking to gold when there's fear in the land, and there's reasons to fear all over the world potential wars coming up, potential wars that is happening. You have the BRICS coming up saying they're okay. We're going to try to find a way to get rid of the dollar by creating our own currency where the U.S. can no longer put tariffs on the world on us and control us, and therefore we're going to have our own currency, which is backed by gold. And then you have all it's just gold, go, 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 gold, go, 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 gold. So therefore, everybody's buying up gold right now, and gold has made record highs because that's what everybody's investing their money into. You got the fear mongers who don't want to pull their money out of the market, so they have to invest in something, so they put their money in gold. You have countries like China and other countries who are trying to create their own currencies backed by gold, so then there's more buying pressure for gold. So therefore, that's the reason why I don't like gold, because it's not doing its normal rhythm and patterns. It's just doing based on whatever the feelings are in the market, which is kind of unstable. Okay. So is this truly the top of the market where it's going to sell off? I don't know, because it's based on how people feel. It's based on news events. It's not really always based on fundamentals. When you look back, yeah, you can say, okay, I see on all this. But when you're in the middle of the trade, you're thinking that this is the high right here. Okay, this may be the high. Then you're thinking this may be the high. Then you wonder, this may be the high. And then, excuse me, y'all. It's like 2:30 in the morning here, and I'm still up. Um, so therefore, you don't know if this is the high or whether it's going to create an even higher high due to whatever news it's going on in the world. If there's a breakout of war, then this thing may shoot even higher. So it's not easily predictable. Okay. So if you do trade it, I'm just going to say trade it with caution. Be very, very careful how you're trading this pair, because it may work out, but it may not. Okay. All right, you guys. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful to get you guys through the week. And again, let me go to our websites, because, I always want to make sure you guys know how to reach out. First of all, if you have questions, send me an email to superezforex@gmail.com. A lot of times, why do I cut off my videos from YouTube? Because I always have stupid people. And let me say something real quick, and I think this is important to address. So I had did a video about what I've learned from Dr. Paisley, or Dr. Elvis, as you guys know him in my group, and also from Swaggy C, who I was in his group for a very long time. I never identified myself in his group, so he didn't know it was me. I just showed up, pretended like I was a normal student, which I am. I'm always trying to learn from everybody. And then I pass that knowledge on to you guys, right? So a lot of people who's in the YouTube channel space, who you guys follow them, some I know, okay? And the reason why, like for an example, Jeremy Cash, I was learning from him, and then he found out who I was that was in our group, and we ended up talking and touching bases. And, he was excited to know I was in his group, and I was very honored to be in his group, as a student learning from him. But my thing is, I don't want people knowing who I am. I just want to come and be a student, okay? It's not to steal customers. It's not to steal this and that. I just want to learn more. I'm just want to learn. I just want to learn more. These markets move differently every single week, and so there's always something to learn from. So if you're one of the best, that's fine. So this person made a comment about my video that I showed you guys about holding trades from the higher time frame, and swing trading and holding them a little bit longer. If you're selling the trade and you was able to catch it at Mount Everest, meaning at the very top of the top of the top, it doesn't have anywhere else to go other than down. So okay, or if you bought at the basement, like I'm looking at for NZD USD, for an example. Okay, if this is the bottom, and I buy it at that level, oh my goodness, and I'll show you a live trade, which I did. Okay, see, look at this. This is from the daily. Okay, this is the daily level. So look at this level where I called it at. Every time it comes in this level, it bounces around and shoots up, comes down, shoots up, come down, shoots up, come down, shoots up. And even these little shoot up marks, you say, oh, that ain't a whole lot. Well, actually, like from this one to here, that was 267 pips. So if I'm only up 48 pips, and this thing, I put the stop loss right around this level, okay, I'm looking to hit 186 pips. Okay, I only have 48. So I still got a long way to go if this thing continues to move forward. Why? Because look at where I got it at. right way down here at the bottom. Way down here at the bottom. Now, when the market opens, I am going to move my stop loss above my entry to lock in gain. But if this thing goes all the way up, therefore, guess what? It's a risk free trade, and I still can make 186 pips, and I only got about 148. I'm sorry, 48 or 50 of them. So I can make 3 times more money because I'm holding the trade. But this is the stuff I learned from them. Okay. And if I really take a look at this looks like a straight up W pattern. Okay. Woo, woo, won't, won't. And you know, W shoot up. Look at the last time it happened. See this? All this clustering back here. And then look, this thing shot up like a Johnny Rocket. Now, if you got in somewhere down here and you got it all the way up here, you made about 437 pips. So this person came on my channel and I'm upset with you. Whoever you are, that's cool. I appreciate the respectable way you asked your question. But they asked me a question. Hey, I see you doing this video about, Swaggy C and Dr. Elvis. Why are you following a scammer, meaning, Swaggy C? Well, I told him, I said, first of all, many of the people who does these videos on who's a scammer, who's not a scammer, they never even spent a penny to be in the person's group to know whether they're a scammer or not. They just sit there, get jealous of their success, and assume that they are a scammer. Okay, so or they'll hop into the group, stay for a day or two, and if trades don't work out exactly the way they think they should, they already out. They don't even give it enough time to see, okay, look, did I try this person's strategy that they're teaching for 3 months? Number two, did I invest into really learning their course? Or did I just try to take their little idea, take a few trades on it, and then think I know everything about this person? And so if it didn't work for me, I'm going to call them scam, 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 scam. I've just never been that type of person. If I don't learn anything from you, okay, I just move on. I'm not going to try to disgrace your character or anything else. So, for an example, when I was under learning the market makers method, which I can see it now, I see a big, gigantic W. Okay, during the time when I was in Mr. Leo's class, okay, and I was learning W's and M patterns, double tops, double bottoms. Okay, it took me such a long time. Everybody else picked up what he was teaching except for me, and I was one who was in the back of the class, just frustrated. I couldn't see it. I just couldn't see it. I never called him a scammer. Other students were making money off his strategy. It was just me. I didn't see it, and he said, "I'll never forget." He said, "When you see it, you're not going to be you're not going. When you see it, you can't unsee it." That's what he taught. When you see it, you can't unsee it. Now, take a look. See, I didn't call him no scammer. Just I can't blame the man just because I'm not catching his strategy as fast as everybody else. Okay, but I didn't quit either. It took me about 2 years just to learn, 2 or 3 years just to learn the market makers pat method. Now, like he said, when you finally do see it, no matter how long it takes, when you see it, you can't unsee it. And now look, I can spot these M's and W's like nobody's business. Why am I holding this trade? Because I see a W pattern. You see it now too. Here's this little small M pattern. See? Boom, boom, boom. And look at that massive drop. Once it hits that second M, the double top right here, it has nowhere else to go. That is Mount Everest. So you caught it at the best price, and therefore you can hold this thing. Look, this thing, if you would have really got in up here on the double test, it was from October or August 21st all the way to down here. And down here was when? August 21st to 9/12. So basically, about 2 weeks, you were holding this trade. How much did you make on this trade? Okay, you got in up here, got out right there, 608 pips. So you see, I got in way down here at the bottom. I'm not in any rush to try to get out because this thing can come at least to the half mark. And if I can make it to here, and that's 187, truth be told, it'll probably go to the 50% retracement, which means from where I am at 48 pips, I actually could make another, basically just say 200 pips, and that'll be 250 if I take it to the 50%. But I'm trying not to be greedy, so therefore I just wait and see if it hits right here, and that'll be what? 186 pips. So therefore, by week 2, in 2 weeks, I made 186 pips on one single trade. Okay? This is the stuff I learned. So why would I sit there and get upset and call this person a scammer? Just because everybody else is saying, oh, he's a scam. Well, probably is. To them, because they don't stay around long enough to stick to something, to test it out over months and months and months themselves to see, does this strategy actually work? They come in, they do a fly by night kind of thing. And how do I know? They did the same thing to me. Oh, he's a scammer. And if you look at some of the people who actually said I was a scam, and look at here, same stuff. If you got in way up here, Mount Everest, and you held it, which they say for about a month. Look at this, all the way to here. Look at the money you make. Look at this one, way down here. You was patient through all this chop, and when it did break out, look at the massive profits. So now it's chopping down here, but I got in way down here. Why in the heck would I be stupid enough to get out this trade? See, but they call me a scammer. And here goes a trade right in front of your face where I'm up 48 and a half pips. And this trade is sent out to the copycat group. Oh, you don't believe me. All right, let me take a screenshot again and put it on the screen. This is why we keep track of our trades. Because people can say, oh, he's scamming, he's doing this. They do them in the same way. And here's the bad part about it, which it really makes zero sense to me. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Here's the results. What trade do you see still open? GBP AUD. Now I could close this out and I could have took 48 pips and put it right here. 48 pips. Live trade. You see, it says open. Screenshot. All the other trades are closed. This one says open. Well, that's my trade. Why? Can it pull backwards? Probably. And then it'll do the thunder thrust and push forward. Okay. Bottom line is, they still call me a scammer, even though I'm showing you a live trade that I took for the entire copycat group. Everybody who's in copycat got it. And they still will call me a scammer. I'm showing you my charts where you can mark it up and see my entry. And they will still call me a scammer. They've been calling me a scammer for years. And what I don't understand is this. Everybody who makes it instantly becomes a scammer. But then if everybody who makes it becomes a scammer, then why are you trying to make it? And then if you do make it and you say, okay, I'm going to charge a little bit to train people, or I'm going to charge a little bit for my indicators that I'm using, they call you a scammer. But then I ask them the question, okay, then Elon Musk should be a scammer. And you say, well, why should he be a scammer? Well, heck, he learned how to build cars, but he's charging people thousands of dollars for his cars. So, yeah, he has knowledge. You think he should just give his knowledge away? Called give me a free car? Because, you can't even really come up with a reason. That's just like going to Ford Motor Company, Mercedes-Benz. They all have knowledge. They've crafted their skill over years and years and years to perfect it, and they're building a product that people buy. But they don't call car dealers scammers. But in this industry, if you actually make it and develop a skill and a craft, and you build a system, you build something, and you say, okay, I'm going to sell my system to you. Oh, you're a scammer. So you don't mind buying cars from Elon Musk, who obtained a certain skill set to learn how to build cars, but you'll buy his Teslas and proudly brag about how much you spent. You'll go to Mercedes and proudly brag about how much you spent. You buy Jordans. They learned a craft on how to build shoes through Nike, and they build shoes that people like, and they sell them to them. So because they have the knowledge, they're supposed to just give you free Jordans? So you don't complain about what you pay for Jordans. You don't complain about what you pay for your car. But in this industry, if anybody succeeds and say, okay, I have obtained the knowledge and the skill, I'm going to charge you to learn what I've learned. You're instantly a scammer. You spend untold amounts of money, like I did, paying people to build indicators and to do the hard work of coding and everything else. You pay all this staff to do all these things, but the moment you put it on and try to sell it for anything, you're a scammer. Do you understand what I'm saying? So here's what I told this person. I said, what I will need you to do is get out of the business of trying to find out who's a scammer, because those people, think about it. Everybody who does these videos on who's a scammer, have you ever asked them where their trading record is? Have you ever seen videos on how they trade? They're so busy trying to prove to you who's the scammer, but the whole time, if you ask them some real questions, tell them to show proof of their trading account. They never do. You know why? Because they don't have a good trading account. So if you're going to call somebody a scammer, you must know what it is to succeed in the business. If you don't know what it is to succeed, how do you know a person's a scammer? You must have succeeded in this business yourself. And then you can tell from this success vantage point who's doing what and who shouldn't be here. But if you broke and starving and you still having problems with your trading, how do you know it didn't work? And just because a person is selling their knowledge and just refusing to give it to you for free, that don't make them a scammer. That just makes them business people. Think about your job where you work at now. I don't care if it's McDonald's, Walmart, or whatever. You go into training to learn their products and services. Do they give anything away for free? So every product in Walmart is a scam because they learned how to make the product and you expect to get it for free. So they should be scammers too. But we don't call them scammers. We call them business. Because it's right that a person who has worked so hard to obtain a skill has a right to sell a product. And this is the only business where that happens, where if you sell anything, you're a scammer. No matter how many live trades you show, no matter how much work you show. Right here, you can see this indicator told me that I built. Right here, it told you when to buy. This thing already shot up, then it pulled back, and then shot up again. If I go down to the 15-minute, boom, 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 boom. If I go to the 30-minute, boom, 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 boom. If I go to the 1 hour, 1 hour told me, and you can see this is where I took the trade from the 1 hour. Here's the arrow. Boom, I took the trade. Here it is saying buy right here. Shot up. Here it says sell. Boom. Here it says buy. Boom. Right in front of you. But guess what? I'm still a scammer. So, guys, I want you to just simply get out of that foolery and get serious about your stuff. If you want to be mentored, you're going to have to pay a mentor. That's the way it is. Okay. And if you talk to any successful person, they will always talk about their mentors. Well, mentors are that's not going to come along and spend their time and hard-earned lessons that they went through and just give it to you for free because it's you. No, you got to pay to play. And if you're not willing to do that, stop calling them scammers. Just say, confess the truth. I don't feel like paying people. I want everything for free. I'm failing, but I don't want to pay for what I need. Just tell the truth. That's okay. Confess the truth. It'll set your soul free. Look at this. Show y'all a different perspective. Here's another system I built. Never sold it. But look at this. Looking at it from down at ground zero. Okay. What do you think? It can at least reach up to this resistance level. But if not, it can reach up to this level right here. You can see where my take profit line is. It's clearly at a clear level. Can I close the trade out early? Yeah, I could, but you can clearly see it. You can clearly see it. Clearly. How can you not see it? You can see when I bought. Clearly you can see that. See, this is another system. I never charged for it, never brought it up. I said, enough is enough. I don't want to hear it. But if you were right here and look at how low I got in, way down here. So where do you think this is going to go? And if it pulls back, I'm going to move my stop loss above my entry a little bit. Therefore, it's a risk-free trade. So even if it pulls all the way back, okay, I won't lose nothing. But guess what? The potential for it to shoot up is big. The next level, if it stops through here, that's still going to be around 200 pips. Okay, 180, 200 pips. If it stops up here, then guess what? We're talking even more money. 200 pips is 213. There you go. See? I just learned a skill. Don't make me on calm, man. Get out of here with that foolery. So anyway, let me wrap this video up. I'm tired and sleepy. I don't know how I got on this. Let me take y'all to my website real quick and then let y'all go. So if you want to be a part of if you want to be a part of my of the copycat group, you're going to go right here to superezforex.com and go to Copycat, and you're going to go to this drop down and click on it, and it'll take you to our website, to the Copycat website. If you want to trade live with Miss Jenny and I, you're going to click on this link, and then on this link, it'll take you to our futures website. On our futures website, there's two options. You can trade the New York session, where you can trade live and scalp with Miss Jenny, and you'll receive a trading indicator. You'll receive a trading indicator whether you join the New York session or the Asian session, which is our scalp indicator, specifically designed for our group. But if you want to also receive my trade alerts and you still want to be in Miss Jenny's live session, then join both. It's up to you. But in my group, on the Asian session, we don't meet at night anymore. So that when people get off work, they're not spending time away from their families trying to learn how to trade. They just simply receive my personal trade alerts and they take the trades, okay? If they want to. Again, I'm just telling people what I'm doing. You make a decision whether you want to take the trades or not. But in Ms. Jenny's, you'll be trading live with her where she can teach you and walk you through it if that's what you want. If you want the Ocean Wave system, which is still a very, very favorite of mine, if you're a trend trader, Ocean Wave system is here. If you want the sexy analyst and the simplicity, both of these are here. So everything you need is right here on superezforex.com. Just visit it. And if you just enjoy my videos and you just like watching my videos and that's that, okay, then just continue to watch them. No problem, okay? All right, you guys, peace and hair grease. I hope this video was helpful to you, and have a blessed week. And, if you have any questions, hit me up on superezforex@gmail.com.